I want you to listen to me because I have a very great story that I've read. Actually, I didn't read, I discovered it when I was reading the web information, web history. And this is a story about the how the internet was created, because original author of the internet was another person. And this person's name is Ted Nelson, a very genius person who was who had an innovative ideas, but he was very peacocky. So he wanted to connect all the computers around the world to share the information and the data, but then he wanted to have the recognition for that for himself. So he started to build this. He started to go out and describe about his visions everywhere in the world.
Our last piece quite perfectly captures that sentiment. It's from the program Ideas in 1979 and features a skeptical Max Allen with Ted Nelson, author of The Home Computer Revolution.
I think you're swimming against a very strong tide here. Your vision of this machine as a reading and writing tool is not the vision of this machine that IBM has or anybody else that I can think of. I mean, we can go out and get 150 people in this field in here, and not one of them will say to you what a computer is an elegant reading and writing machine.
That's right.
That's why it's called a computer. It is used, after all, for computation of one sort or another, that is, pushing the kinds of data that you and I will not find in Far From the Madding Crowd around.
This is not quite so. The correct name is the all-purpose machine. That's what von Neumann called it. The name did not catch on. A computer is a box that follows a plan, and we want to have these for our personal use as typewriters, as filing cabinets, as viewing devices for the new world of information, as musical instruments, as communication devices.
We have all those things already.
Yes, but the computer may be thought of as an anti-gadget. Rather than being just another thing that makes life more complicated, it's the simplifying device that by integrating and tying in the others makes the separate fiddling and adjustment that the bad design has required on these different machines unnecessary. In other words, when this gets set up properly, your home computer will adjust your hi-fi and your lights and your wood stove and send out and pay the bills or help you pay the bills and so on.
Does anybody need that? You're too busy
now. I don't know
huh?
where you're coming from, Max.
You're too busy
I certainly do.
Where I'm coming from is that I feel no need for such a device at all.
Right.
This seems to me, first and foremost, to be a technology looking for a problem to solve.
Well,
do you think that people feel? Do you feel the need to have such a device?
Personally?
Yes, personally.
Yes.
Ted Nelson started his work on the hypertext, which is the core of the internet, of web technology. And his internet project is called the Xanadu. He started to work on that in the 60s, but all alone. Didn't release it because he was working all by himself. And then, up until today, we don't have the internet as Xanadu, as original author of the web, thought about it. Now, in the 90s, we still need the informations to be shared with a much simpler way. So at the CERN there was another guy whose name was Tim Berners-Lee. He was from Britain and he was a researcher at the CERN, which is the European research center which was based around Switzerland in underground. And he had an idea to use the hyperlinks and hypertext from the Ted Nelson to combine it with the other simpler tasks and other simpler technologies to create the web. And this web became very popular because of the one reason. When Tim Berners-Lee got his grants from the CERN to release his project, he asked the permission to release it under the public license, because he wanted to make it affordable for everyone. He didn't have the copyrights for himself. Even by himself or CERN, no one owns it. So it's owned by all the people. And because of that, it became very popular first in the CERN, and then it became popular around the world among the universities, and then slowly was adopted by the whole world, because a lot of people started to add the client web browsers. They started to add more functionalities on the internet. Therefore, the current web that we have, it's the work of the lot of people, but no one forgot the original author, Tim Berners-Lee. TEDNelson, in the 90s and in the early 2000s, he saw that web became the popular. He realized that it became popular because Tim Berners-Lee shared his ideas, and because of that, internet changed the entire world. And because of his innovation, Tim Berners-Lee got the it's like a honorific greetings at the Olympics. He got the honorific title from the British monarchy. So now he is Sir Tim Berners-Lee. He also got the Nobel Prize in the computer science, which is called the Turing Award, which I also dream to take in some days. But TEDNelson become unknown. Realizing that the TEDNelson is unknown because he wanted to keep this Xanadu project for himself, he open sourced it. He started to gather people around it. And up until today, since the 60s, we have the people, dozens of people out of billions, who are working on the Xanadu, but they are not popular. And it would not be popular because it's too late. So the moral of the story that I wanted to tell you is, when you have an idea, try to be like Tim Berners-Lee, not like TEDNelson. When you have an idea, share it, gather people together so that people will work on it, and people will not forget you. Don't be afraid that people will steal your ideas, because alone you can't do the work. And if you want to hear such kind of the informations that 99% of the population doesn't know, then subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also, if you want to read about it more with the more references and links, then I'll show you the Telegram channel. Subscribe and follow us. I'll be updating you regularly. Thanks.